Coming up on DITV, a winter storm surges through Iowa City, leaving people stranded far and wide. This morning, we'll have your latest storm updates plus some travel safety tips.
And later, the fire is out. One major California wildfire has been contained. Hear from what the first responders that helped tame the blaze had to say.
Check out the dramatic finish to the Hawkeyes' last game of the season coming up in sports.
Will there be another winter storm this week? Stick around to hear it first from weather.
We've got all that and more coming up on this Monday morning, November 26th edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now.
Shake the prompter. Good morning and thanks for tuning in to this live Monday morning edition of DITV. I'm Bo Bowman.
And I'm Dylan Mahalki.
Yesterday, a strong blizzard tore through Iowa City, leaving at least 5 inches of snow behind and even up to 8 in some areas. Just miles away in Tiffin and North Liberty, barely an inch of snow covered the ground, a prime example of the wind being a major factor in the storm. A week building up to the storm, meteorologists explained that Iowa City and the rest of the corridor was in a fine line of experiencing a heavy snowstorm or just missing it completely. Iowa City saw winds pushing 30 miles per hour, while wind speeds up in southeast Iowa topped over 40 miles per hour, causing near whiteout conditions for much of the area on much of the day. Roads remain unplowed and sidewalks covered in footprints of people attempting to brave the cold.
And while it may seem like conditions were bad enough yesterday, Iowa City only experienced a taste of what neighboring states are left to deal with. DITV's Anthony Calangiri has more.
This morning, the aftermath of blizzard-like conditions leaving Iowa City and much of the Midwest covered in a winter wonderland. Planes being forced to de-ice in Kansas City, while travelers try to beat the storm.
It was pretty difficult because everybody's trying to get out of town today, so we're lucky that we got on the flight.
It's going to be a mess, especially with ice up here and stuff like that. We don't play with that down there.
A couple states away, a Colorado interstate at a complete standstill as drivers brave the unbearable conditions.
There was a hazmat truck that was jackknifed in the middle of the road, and people were just trying to brake, and they were flying kind of everywhere.
No matter the mode of transportation, sometimes that is no match against a powerful storm. But as a driver, being prepared is the first step of making your journey a little less stressful.
The most important items would be to have anything that's going to keep you warm. Some gloves, wool socks, some hand warmers.
Besides keeping you warm, blankets are a great tool to have on hand.
But if it's really cold, you can insulate your car, put them in your windows. It helps prevent the cold air from getting in.
Make sure you have a cell phone charger and a flashlight with extra batteries as well. Cold weather maintenance is also important for your vehicle. Be sure your battery and tires are in good working condition and confirm that all lights and signals work. As the winter season rolls on, it's important to drive slow and be aware of your surroundings while driving or walking. Reporting in Iowa City, this is Anthony Calaguri, DITV News.
Over on the West Coast, one of California's 2 major wildfires called the Camp Fire has been fully contained. To tell us more, we have DITV's Susanna Closer standing by in the newsroom. Susanna?
Thanks, Bo. Yesterday, the California State Fire Agency announced that the Camp Fire, the deadliest in state's history, has been 100% contained. Officials said that the firefighters have formed a perimeter around it, but the flames aren't entirely out yet. What caused the fire is still unknown, but officials say that it has destroyed roughly 150,000 acres and claimed 85 lives. Thousands of people were forced to evacuate when the fires began, and firefighters are still on the lookout for more than 200 people, a job that is no easy task.
Basically, our primary mission was evacuations and rescue. We were able to kind of save ourselves, so to speak, and in that process, we found some other people that were trapped by debris, trees, wires, etc. We assisted in getting them out, and then ultimately we made our retreat all the way back down. We put them in our truck, in our fire engines. There were other civilians that were coming down. We were able to flag them down.
When you roll into town and Safeway is on fire, and when McDonald's is gone, and everything around it is gone, that day I knew it was a big one, and we're going to be here for a while. When I turn around and have to walk away from a house, and I look at that house, I'm like, this is someone's retirement home, and everything they have in it is inside that house, and there's nothing I can do with it. I've been out on other strike teams before, and wildland fires before, nothing like this.
And then you throw on top of the number of life lost this close to holidays, it does leave an impact on you.
Now, while recent rain showers have helped firefighters control the fire, officials say that they have a long road ahead of them, including making sure affected areas are safe and, of course, finding those missing victims. Guys at the desk, back to you.
Well, then, we didn't get that school cancellation that I was quite hoping for. All that snow, but no dice.
I know. I mean, we did get some pretty crazy snowfall, and some of the sidewalks are still icy and stuff. But let's toss it over to Kate in the weather studio with more. Kate?
Thanks, guys. So this week's forecast won't look anything like the crazy storm we got this weekend. In fact, so far there isn't any snow in the forecast, so hopefully everyone had a safe drive back to campus. Starting today, we'll have partly cloudy weather with a high of 26, and then as it goes into night, we'll drop to a low of just 13 degrees. Then moving on to the extended forecast, we start to see a little bit of fluctuation. Tuesday is the only day we'll really see the sun this week, yet it'll be the coldest day with a high of 24 and a low of only 7 degrees. Wednesday gets a little warmer with a high of 26 and a much more reasonable low of 22. Still chilly though. Thursday has a 50% chance of bringing PM showers. The high will be 35 with a low of 25. Then to end the school week, we'll have a nice partly cloudy day with a high of 35 and a low of 30. That's all I've got for you guys today. Happy first day back, Hawkeyes. Back to you at the desk.
Another UI fraternity has been suspended on campus. Kappa Sigma was temporarily suspended on November 2nd for allegations of hazing. This came after the UI's decision in October to temporarily suspend 9 fraternities. This suspension is now the 12th among UI fraternities to be investigated for violations of alcohol and other policies this semester. Last updated on November 19th, the UI's Fraternity and Sorority Accountability Action Summary showed 2 other Greek chapters, Delta Chi Fraternity and Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, were investigated in 2018 for hazing. UI's Vice President for Student Life, Melissa Shivers, told the DI in October, quote, "How do we engage in social activities that do not create potentially environments of harm, question mark? Those are things that we're going to have to work on together," end quote. Stay tuned with the DI for more on the updates on the investigation.
Today through December 1st begins Red Week, which raises awareness and erases stigmas around HIV and AIDS. Red Week is hosted by IC Red, a University of Iowa student organization. In their first year of operation, IC Red Week has been ongoing in the Iowa City community since 2008 and now has an official student organization. They hope to reach more students and make a greater impact on the UI community. Throughout the week, the student organization will be hosting events around campus such as a clothing drive in the LGBTQ Resource Center Monday night to a gallery screening highlighting AIDS activism Saturday afternoon. In Public Space 1, for more details, go to dailyiowan.com.
Well, Bo, we definitely had quite the nail-biter in Kinnick back on Friday.
Yeah, a little too close for my comfort. Let's toss it over to John in the sports studio with more.
Yeah, you guys got that right. I swear the football team can't go a week without giving me a heart attack. But hey, they got the win, and that's all that matters, right? Last week, we complained that the Iowa game against Illinois wasn't close enough to be entertaining. Well, we got what we hoped for because the Hawkeyes delivered. The Iowa and Nebraska offenses started hot, each putting points on the board in their first 2 drives. In the second half, Nebraska trailed 28-13, but drove down the field twice and scored 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion to tie the score. But Iowa stuck with Mekhi Sargent on the ground to rack up a $174 in rushing yards and run the clock down to the final 3 seconds. That's when the senior, Iowa's kicker Miguel Racinos, nailed a 41-yard game winner to shuck the Cornhuskers 31-28, and the whole team was excited to send the seniors off with a victory.
This senior class, man, they're something special. These guys did a great job leading us, you know, and things did tilt their way. But I mean, that senior class, they buckled us down, and you know, they were able to lead us and get us to do enough to get the game.
It was just a great feeling, you know. I mean, senior day to be able to experience something like that. You know, I've had end of game kicks before, but that's the first time I've ever had one to win the game, and yeah, it's something else.
Big shopper, but today's Black Friday. I'm smart enough to know that was in the paper this morning, and for us, this is a black and gold Friday.
But that game-winning kick didn't come without dramatics and proved it takes a real hero to win the Heroes Trophy. DITV Sports Director Bo Bowman reports.
As the clock ticked down to the 3-second mark, the Hawkeyes found themselves tied with Nebraska 28-all. And all eyes were on Iowa's kicker, Miguel Recinos. Recinos missed a kick earlier in the game, which made everyone nervous for this potential game winner.
It all kind of started when I missed that first one, which obviously was really, really disappointing. I think I was just a little bit too open in my hips. I struck the ball really, really well, but it didn't behave the way I thought it would, and I missed it. And obviously, after that, it's a very lonely feeling, just because I went out there with full expectation to make the kick, and it didn't happen. So obviously, that's very, very disappointing in a tight game.
And in big moments like these, head coach Kirk Ferentz thinks it's best to let them do their own thing.
And we knew they would try to ice him. At least we thought they might. But at that point, we just let him do what he does. And I don't think about kicking. So keep your head on, eyes down. I know that, but wasn't much I could tell him was going to help him.
But the rest of the field goal unit tried their best to take the pressure off the senior.
A couple weeks ago, he called me his caddy, and I kind of just take his mind off of things. I'm like, hey man, don't worry about the operation. We got it down. You just worry about putting it through, and it helps him out a lot. So.
And after the ball sailed through the uprights, a sigh of relief and celebration took over Kinnick Stadium.
We always joked about hey man, you're gonna come down a game winner on senior day, and it happened. So I'm proud for it.
Reporting from Kinnick Stadium, Bo Bowman, DITV Sports.
It's great to see the senior be the hero there on senior day. And as the door shuts on the Iowa football season, another door opens. The Iowa basketball team is off to a strong start. We have DITV Sports Director and men's basketball beat reporter Lucy Rodine standing by live in the newsroom with an update on the team. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning, John.
So it's only a few weeks into the season, but where is Iowa at right now?
Iowa is actually off to their best start since 2013. The Hawks are sitting at 5-0 right now and are kind of looking like one of the better teams in the Big Ten. They won the Empire Classic a week ago when they faced Oregon and UConn, and now they're in the national polls. They're sitting at 20 right now, but that is subject to change today, and they're about to head into Big Ten play this weekend, and the Hawks are looking really, really good.
Well, you mentioned the streak that they're on, the ranking. Why is Iowa off to such a good start?
Well, I think it really comes down to two aspects. First, Iowa's ability to get to the line. They rank in the top 10 nationally in the ability to get to the free throw line, and then they're making those. They're ranked number 3 nationally at field goals made. So the Hawks are really getting physical, and they're getting the line, and they're getting those easy buckets. And I think the second reason Iowa's playing so well is Luka Garza. He's averaging over 16 points a game, and he is just crushing it on all aspects. He was the MVP of the Empire Classic tournament, and we really shouldn't be surprised to be seeing this because last year, I know Iowa had a bad season, but Luka really shined. He averaged a double-double last year, and he's really looking to keep that going this season to help Iowa as they're rolling right now.
Thanks, Lucy. I will be back in action tomorrow night when they'll host Pitt for the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Come back tomorrow for a look at the women's basketball team and Iowa Wrestling's 1,000th win. Guys at the desk, back to you.
Thanks, John. But before we go, a heartwarming Thanksgiving story that'll definitely put you in the holiday spirit.
You may have noticed the story circulating online and on social media about an unlikely duo meeting all because of a wrong text message.
An Arizona grandma thought she was texting her grandson Thanksgiving dinner plans, but it ended up on the phone of then 16-year-old Jamal Horton.
That was 3 years ago, and year after year, the teenager has joined his new friend for Thanksgiving dinner.
Hi. And I get this text back going, who is this? And I said, well, it's Grandma. I'd like to retire from doing dinner and pass it over to the younger generation, and I'll come and visit.
And that'll be it for us on this edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. For DITV, I'm Dylan Mahalki.
And I'm Bo Bowman. Have a great day, Iowa City. We'll see you tomorrow.